Hey YouTube! Wow, look at this telly. This is a fender. I've got it in. I was just replacing a pickup in it for a customer, I suppose. This is it says Fender Special Edition on the back, made in Mexico, MX13. Does that make it a 2013 model? I'm not sure exactly what model it is, but the finish on it is absolutely brilliant. I thought it was like a sort of stained wood somehow, you know, because this looks very much like grain, but according to the owner it's dipped, which kind of makes sense. It really does look absolutely stunning though. You can see kind of there where it's been dipped, but I really have to learn how to do the dipping thing. I've never actually seen one that looks as good as this before though. You know, it's like all glossy and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of, there's a tropical fish, I can't remember which one it is, that's very much this colour. You can get, I don't know if it's it might be a saltwater fish, I'm not sure it's a freshwater one, but it's very much this. Looks fantastic. Yeah, so this one, maple neck, just says Fender Telecaster on the headstock. Looks like something else, like bubbles there. You can really, it doesn't really make it out in the video. So this has got a bare knuckle. When I get brought in, it had a bare knuckle rails pickup in the bridge, and he got me to swap out the original neck pickup for a pile driver neck RWRP nickel bare knuckle Telecaster pickup. What I didn't do, so I'll talk about learning lessons here, I didn't try the guitar before I took the pickup out. So I had this video was half an hour later than I expected it to be, because wired it up, everything working great, no earth wire. So you know, it just buzzed uncontrollably. When I was, obviously I've got the distortion on. I would just assume I was going to. My option was, I was thinking I could put a coil split, you know, on a push pull pot to split the humbucker, but there was only 2 wires coming out it. So my thinking there was, rather than, I wouldn't even want to try and take to bits. I would sometimes, you know, sometimes I don't mind adding taking a humbucker to bits to add the extra wire. But a real one, it's awful small in there, and it's an expensive pickup, so I didn't want to break it. And also I figured that it's probably, if they'd wanted you to coil split it, they would have put the extra wire in to do that. So I'm thinking the output of it's probably quite matched to a normal pickup, rather than it being like, you know, turbo loud like sometimes the hot rails are. But normally I would expect the Telecaster, like on the guitar I can't show you because the camera is actually clipped onto it. Just now my Shockingbird, it's only got 1 wire in the whole guitar because it's got 1 pickup, but what happens is you've got like 2 wires coming off the pickup, you know, like in and out basically, where both ends of the coil. And on that guitar, both of them go to the volume control, and then 1 wire, so that, okay, technically that's 2 wires, and then 1 wire goes from the volume control to the tone control. The 2 wires that come out the pickup, one of them is connected onto the base plate of the pickup. It's got like a Telecasters generally tend to have a brass base plate, and so that means that you're earthing the base plate with the start of the pickup onto the bridge, which is this whole thing earthed, and then as soon as you put it onto this pot, this whole metal plate's earthed. So that's how I got away with only one wire in the guitar. But on this one, there is no base plate on the back of the pickup, which in some ways is a good thing, because it would mean that, or not the base, in fact the base plate's there, but the fact that there's no, you know, you get the 2 wires coming out and one of them isn't permanently connected, it means that you can flip the phase of that if you so wanted to fit in with whatever other pickup you've got in there. So that's probably why they've done that. So this doesn't have the brass base plate, and there's no earth, so I now had to take the guitar to bits, put an earth wire in. Basically all I did was get an old bit of speaker cable, strip it, stick it into one of the holes that holds the bridge on, screw the bridge on, run the wire through the hole, solder it onto the back of the pot. So it's not a difficult thing to do. If you do come across that, the way you would tell that's the thing is if you touch the strings and the buzzing doesn't go away, but if you touch the metal plate or the knobs or the jack, the sleeve of the jack, and the buzzing goes away, then you're missing an earth somewhere. Because even when you've got a guitar on like extreme distortion, Even then, it's not as loud as it was when it wasn't connected up. That's it on. But yeah, so I'll make some noise with this. So this is the new neck pickup. What did I say? What's pile? Did I say pile driver? Pile driver, which sounds quite heavy. I mean. Some of the knobs have actually been turned on my amp since last week. That amp, I've been using that for doing the videos for the last year. Something that basically none of the knobs have ever been touched. But I decided what I was going to do on Friday night there was I was going to take it into the studio and see if I could get away with gigging with it. Because it's just the whole idea, okay, the Softtech's not really that big, but if I'm playing somewhere that doesn't have a cabinet there, I've got to take the Softtech and I've got to take a cabinet. Plus that cabinet's, well, it works, but it's not been tested at volume. So I figured I'll see what happens if I just tried that, because it's only got like one 10-inch speaker. It does have a speaker out on it, so I was figuring I could run it through the cabinet in the studio. So it's 15 watt, this thing, and it was perfect. It did fine in rehearsal, didn't even notice, I didn't even have it up at full bung. I did notice the drive channel was quite noisy on it, which I think is quite normal for an amp anyway, just the Softtech because it's so powerful isn't, but it was quite noisy in the drive channel, but I reckon I could gig with it. Also, I was thinking on the other side, it kind of if there's a sound guy when you're doing a gig, it means that he can actually control it. So it's loud enough for me to hear anyway, playing along with drums and the bass and the singing in the studio. So that means it's loud enough for on stage. And then if I've got like a speaker, you know, mic'd up, it gives the sound guy something to do. So keep them happy rather than just going, here's my amp, it's loud as hell, adjust everyone else to be as loud as me. Yeah, so that's a by the by. Here, this guitar. So this is just sitting clean through a wee liney, no pedals. So this is the humbucker and bridge. This is both. I didn't change strings on this guitar, so these strings have been on and off at least twice by me, but I got the impression that maybe the strings were put on last time the pickup, when the pickup was fitted X months ago, and because I'd imagine because it was buzzing, because there was no earth wire, which the guy never told me there was no earth wire, but I should have checked it before I did it. So I don't think it's not really holding tune, because I don't think these strings were stretched in. And if you've ever done this sort of thing before, you know that if you put new strings on your guitar, tune it up and then let it sit for a couple of weeks without stretching the strings in, it takes forever to get the bastard to stay in tune. So I think that's what's going on here. Everything's just, they're no longer new strings, if you know what I mean, but they've not been stretched in. I mean, these are moving quite a lot. So you can have the same thing about it. Doesn't really matter how expensive your guitar is. If you've not got the right strings on it or they're not stretched in, it won't stay in tune. I mean, you get a lot of that. I've noticed the other day I was watching an Andertons video and they were talking about they were trying out the Squire Bullet, and they were saying it took them forever to tune it. It's probably because that guitar's had those strings on it for a year when it's been hanging in the wall, never been tuned. So, you know, but it doesn't matter how stable your nut is, how stable your Floyd Rose or tremolo are, and how good your tuners are. If the strings are not peak performance, it's gone anyway. Rat pedal. Nick. There's one of the problems I always have with all Telecasters with this lever. See there when I adjusted the switch, I knocked the volume control. So although I do love Telecasters, I do love the metal plate. That is a fault that you just have to get used to, the fact that when you go to adjust pickup, quite often you do knock the volume down to nothing. Sorry, I shall continue. Maybe do a wee bit of adjustment in the bridge in this. The B string's a wee bit quiet, a wee bit low. Bridge. Both. Again, I hit the volume control. Well, 21 frets. Back again. have a bit of a problem there. That's that. The reason I put that backing track in is in my band Cranking House just now. We're trying to do some original songs, and I've written one, and that's the bit that I've put in to try and put a solo over, and it's just not very exciting. So I don't really know what I'm going to do there. It's not very long. It's only it goes a key changes to it. It just does that 4 times. And I was like, that might be alright. I think because I put it in a bit jangly there because I was doing it on clean, it didn't have the same, because it's a bit more. A bit more rocking. Maybe I'll get away with it. I'll be using I've got a tremolo on it anyway, so I'll be going as much as I can. So yeah, I end up talking about this quite a lot, but I mean, this is a stunningly beautiful guitar. Really, I would definitely have one of these. It's just like it's the way the drippiness. You know, it goes around the back and in the sides. So it's like the joys of when you're looking at a guitar. I've been going on about this for months actually, about how I really like that silver one, because the back of the headstock's silver, because that's the bit you see when you're playing it. This is the same when you're playing the guitar. You see this totally cool looking bit. I mean, I'm not doing it justice here with the really crap lights in here, but I mean, it really is very, very, very pretty. Yeah, so rock and roll.